Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from GED Math Tutoring. And right now, it is 55 degrees in lovely Baltimore. I just can't. It was snowing yesterday. Like, what's going on? Anyway, so what I do is I take on a lot of components, basically algebraic concepts that you usually see in algebra classes or the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test, any kind of test that usually deals with algebra concepts. And I break them down over here for free on TikTok for your pleasure. Right? All you have to do is, if you think you know what the answer is, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'll read your name. And if you're not sure, hey, you can always use a question mark. That is perfectly fine. So I try to keep this as nice and light as usual. No stress, no strain. Just want to really talk about the basic concepts. So let me put this down a little bit. So the first question we have today, find a line parallel to 3x plus 4y equals 8, passing through the point 8, negative 2. So is it A, which is negative 3/4 x plus 2, B, y equals 3/4 x minus 8, C, y equals negative 3/4 x plus 4, or D, y equals 4/3 x plus 1? So if you think you know what the answer is, go ahead and put it in the chat. Well, hello, Michael. Welcome on in. Hope you're having an awesome day. So far, things are really getting busy, which is good. But I know a lot of people are starting to have their spring break, so everyone is sitting and chilling. Okay, so we have Maya with an A. Is that Nasha? Is saying B. Hey, Cherie, how are you? Busy is good, right? Trust me, I am not complaining. I truly feel that I'm being blessed. So I'm truly being blessed. Oh, thanks, Michael, for sharing the live. All right, Tess is saying B. Okay, One Man Band 88 is saying A, as well as is waged is saying A. All right. Thanks for sharing the lives and thanks for popping on in. I'm doing very well, Cherie. It was a busy day. Lots of tutoring. And I'm very shocked and surprised that I have at least one brain cell left. But we're going to work that bad boy to death today. No. Okay, so you're saying A. Let's take a look. All right. First off, things that we need to know about parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. So one thing that they didn't just give to us is the slope. So we need to find the slope, and we're going to use that equation to break that down. So we have 3x plus 4y is equal to 8. So we need to put this from standard form, that's what this is, into slope-intercept form, aka we need to solve for y. Well, one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. And then from here, I'm going to divide everything by 4. So when I do that, I have my y equals, I have my negative 3/4 x, and then we have 8 divided by 4, that gives me a positive 2. So all I want from this equation is my slope. Because what we're doing is we're looking for another equation for another line, but that is using the same slope. So right away, I have a negative 3/4. So that means B, that's gone. That means D, that's gone. So it's either going to be A or C. So they're saying that the other point has the same slope, but it has the same point. So what we could do it by point slope form. That's one form. But I feel like a lot of people know y equals mx plus b. We got that engraved in our heads. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in the information that they gave us for the x and the y. So that means my y, we got a -2. My slope, -3/4. And the x that they got from the point, 8. And the reason why we're doing this is so we can find what is our b. So we have the slope, we need to figure out what our y-intercept is going to be. Is it going to be 2 or is it going to be 4? So now, let's break down -3/4 times 8. One of the ways we can do, I can cross simplify 8 and 4. They both have 4 in common. So the 4 is now 1. The 8 is now 2. So when we have this, we have -2 is equal to -3 times 2, which gives me a -6, plus my b. And now we have to add 6 on both sides. So -2 plus 6, that gives me a +4. And that's what my b is. So we know our slope. Put this over here. We know our slope, which is a -3/4 x. We know our b, which is a +4. So now we have our equation of the line. So the answer is actually going to be C. Okay. All right. So it's going to be C. Thanks for sharing the lives, guys. Thanks for coming on in. Is that my install? Hello. You had that. Good job, Dolby. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Hey, Big G Money. Okay. I'm not sure when you came in here. All right. That's okay. It's been a minute. All right. So we had to take the equation. Now, people, if you're going after your GED, this is a 4-point question. All right. So I try to put those things in here. We have our equation. We're going to use the equation. That's what I did down here to figure out what the slope is. Because if we're looking for a line that's parallel, that means the slopes of these two equations have to be the same. So we had to solve this for y. That's what we did down here. We got our y equals -3/4 x plus 2. This was my slope. Okay, this was my slope. So then we had to use this point and put it in that equation because we need the y-intercept. Okay, that's why they call it the slope, basically the slope-intercept. Okay, y-intercept form. Scar. So once you plug your information in and you found your b, you brought your slope in, you brought your b down, then you have your equation. Okay. All right. So now, that's when the lines are parallel. What happens if they're perpendicular? Okay. What happens if they are perpendicular? So when we have something that's perpendicular, our slopes aren't going to be the same. They're actually going to be what's called opposite reciprocal. Okay, they're going to be opposite reciprocals. So this time, we are trying to find a line perpendicular to y equals 1/3 x plus 5, passing through the point 2, -4. So my slope is this 1/3. What would be the opposite reciprocal of 1/3? Go ahead and put that into the chat. Okay. All right. So Michael's saying my -3. Yep. So we're saying 3. Okay. Opposite meaning one's going to be positive and the other one's going to be negative. So if my original is positive, that means the opposite is going to be negative. Reciprocal means flipped. So if I have 1/3 as my slope, My opposite is going to be a negative. And my reciprocal is when we flip it. Or as some people will say, you multiply by -1, but you also got to flip it. Don't forget the flip. So you have a -3 over 1, which can just be simplified as -3. Okay, just like what Michael was saying. So I got some C's, I got some A's, I got some B's, I got some C's, I got some D's. Okay, so basically we're hitting on all the letters. Okay, so we have our slope. That's -3. Now we're going to go into our y equals mx plus b. So if you have a point, this is your x, this is your y. This is what you're going to plug in plus the slope to find what. So we have our -4 is equal to -3 times 2 plus b. Okay, there's a reason why these are 4-point questions. Okay, these are reason why they're 4-point questions. We got it. It's going to take some time, all right? So don't get frustrated. Let's just take it step by step. So now, combine -3 and 2, that gives us a -6. Bring down our b, our equals, and a -4. So now we want to solve for b. So that means we need to add 6 on both sides. So -4 plus 6, when the signs are opposite, you're subtracting. So if I have $6 and I spent $4, that means I still have $2 in my pocket. And that's positive. That's good. So what I just found was my b. So I have the slope, I have the y-intercept, now I can make the equation. So for the equation is going to be y equals my m, which was -3, x plus my b, which is a +2. So my answer choice is actually going to be D. Okay, you getting it now? Okay. Takes you back to middle school? All right, sophisticated lady. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, good, Angela. You got that. E's getting D. Good. Order pairs into the equation. You can do that, but here's my thing. The major part for this is you have to know what happens to the slopes. If you don't change the slope, yeah, you're going to get an answer and it's going to be wrong. So you have to understand perpendicular lines, they have opposite reciprocal slopes. So if one's positive, the other one's negative. If one's a whole number, then it turns into a fraction. If it's a fraction, it may stay a fraction, it might have a flip. So like if I wanted to say, here's a little side note. If I wanted to say -4/9, the opposite reciprocal of -4/9 is going to be positive, and you're going to flip it. So it'll be a +9/4. Okay. Parallel lines, same slope. Perpendicular lines, opposite reciprocals. What do we do with the 5? We don't do anything with the 5. Nope. Because we didn't need the 5. We don't want it to be exactly the same as the original equation. So this equation, and then we need another equation that is perpendicular to this. So the y-intercepts are not what we're really seeking. It's more so the slopes. And then, since we're crossing over this certain point, then we're going to use this point and the opposite reciprocal of the slope to find our new y-intercept. Okay. All right, good. Okay. Yes, no problem. Not a problem. All right, so I feel like I'm hitting on especially a lot of these 4-point questions. And I know Some of us are like, what's going on? We've got to have to take our chance with it. And also, if by chance that you're really like, I really need to know this because insert your reasoning, could be the GED, could it be ASVAB, you're trying to pass the ASVAB in this upcoming spring. You might be trying to take college algebra and they're talking about basic things, and a lot of your teachers are or professors are probably saying, you've learned this already. Well, there was something called the pandemic. There was something called, I haven't been in school since I was a fetus. Now, you're asking me to do all kinds of crazy things called algebra. So if you are into that, I do have workbooks. We'll gradually break all these concepts down. So if there's certain things like, finding out the slope and all that, definitely take a look at my Algebra at Your Pace workbooks. Okay, I'm almost done with a lot of my ebooks, but that can definitely help you along with it. And don't forget, the link is in the bio. All right, so now we can do, but here's a solving the system using substitution. Okay, yes, we could do elimination. Yes, we could graph this, but sometimes you just have to get right down to the nitty of the gritty. Some people, if I was taking a test, because I'm lazy, I'm waiting for people to say something about problem number A. I would take my order pairs and I would plug them into the original equation. But the only way it can be a solution if it basically makes each equation, both of them, a true statement. Okay, that's the only way that I know that it works. So I'm still going to do a little bit of the substitution, but if you're a person that's just taking, say, standardized test, and you want a quick and dirty way of it, you can plug in numbers into your equations to see which one will work for both. So if I was plugging in the 6 and the 7, we're plugging the 6s for the x's, the 7s for the y's, and if we get the same answer, like say for this one, if I plug a 6 in, I got 6 times 2, that's 12. Right? 12 plus 5 is not going to be 7. So right away, that does not work. Okay, you see what happened there? But if you are a current student in class, your teacher wants to see your work. Okay? Because then if you screw up somewhere, at least you can get partial credit than nothing at all. All right? So easiest way for me, since it says y equals 2x plus 5, I'm going to substitute this in for y in the other equation. That's what they're calling by substitution. Think about it in sports. When someone subs in the game and someone subs out, no bits and pieces of their bodies is still on the floor. Okay? Hopefully not. All right. So one's coming in, one's going out. So it's going to look like this. We have 3x plus 2 times, but instead of a y equals 31, I'm going to plug in my 2x plus 5. Okay. So when you plug in, and I'm seeing some people saying b's, which is good, I'm going to do my little multiplication right here. So I have my 3x plus 2 times 2x gives me 4x. 2 times 5 gives me positive 10 equals 31. Okay, put it like this. So now I have like terms right here I can combine. And if I do that, that gives me my 7x plus 10 is equal to 31. But I want to isolate my variable. So I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides. Now I have 7x is equal to 31 minus 10, which gives me 21. Now I want to divide because the inverse of multiplication is division. X equals 3. So that means my x, which is the first, is going to be 3. So that cancels out D. But then I can substitute that 3 back in. Do you see how this is a lot of steps, right? Then I can substitute this y equals 2x, but instead of an x, I'm going to take my answer of 3 and now I got 2 times 3, which gives me 6, and 6 plus 5 gives me 11. So that's why I tried to say, like, if you're taking any of those examinations, if you can do some substitution, do that. Okay? But the thing is, it has to be available in a true statement for both equations. So I'm showing you all the algebra because I might have some people that are currently in algebra classes that needs to show their work. But when you're taking the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test, they don't care about your work. They just care, did you pick A, B, C, or D? And if there was only one, once we got with our X, if there is only one answer that has a 3, that's your answer. Click it, bubble it, move on. Okay? Because remember, this is a timed assessment. All right? You need me to help you pass your math test? All right. Hey, I do have tutoring sessions. I mean, tomorrow's all kinds of cray-cray, but Monday is not as crazy. Okay? Jordan, where were you? You're a little late, Jordan. Okay. Now, so I see there's 419 of us in here, and I like the 3K likes, but if we can do a mad tap for the time being, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see if we can get to at least 6K. Like, see if we can double it. Just at least TikTok will know that what we're doing here is of some importance. I know, they always like to do you have enough people going on your live? Okay, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And for those, while we're sitting here waiting for us to tap to see if we can get to at least 6K, I would greatly appreciate it. Like as I mentioned before, we have a whole series that is up and out and ready for you. Okay, it's called Algebra at Your Pace. This is actually the whole page. So we have 8, 9, 10. There's 10 total books. Yes, it's officially out, ready to go. So you can definitely get the books on the A. I do have a link in my bio, okay, which will take you directly to either if you want the physical book, which is on the A, or there is digital books, okay? You can actually get like the electronic copies. So all of that is basically, link in bio, okay? So, and I'm getting everything ready for you because I just have to double check my answer key. This is going to be the latest and greatest. This is the question that you guys keep asking me. When will I ever use this math? So I did some research myself, ChatGPT, books, all that stuff that I had. So the real careers that use algebra. And you do not have to have an engineering degree in order to make really good money that actually uses algebra. Okay, you'll be shocked and surprised. Originally, I was going to just research like 3 courses and just give you some general information, but I went nuts. I did 12. Okay, so 12. You know, we're looking at IT specialists. Obviously, some of you guys are looking at nursing. Some of you guys are looking at construction, all that. So in order for us to take that, I also gave you a 25-question career math readiness quiz to basically gauge, are you ready to pursue this career? Oh, I really like that. I'd like to get the information on that. So this will be coming out soon, okay? When I say soon, hopefully tomorrow. Okay, so everything is the best. I just need to double check my answer keys because I don't want to give you any falsehood. Okay? All right. Thank y'all. All right, so let's take a gander at our next one. So we are expanding the expression 2x minus 5 raised to the second power. That's what this little caret means. So if I may, as you can tell, I've been doing a lot of this. So we have our 2x minus 5 squared. So is our answer, let's see if I can shrink it a little bit. Okay. So we're trying to see, is our answer 4x squared minus 25? That's what answer choice A is. Is it 4x squared plus 25? That's what B is. Is it 4x squared minus 20x plus 25? Or is it D, 4x squared minus 10x plus 25? Okay, so I just want to know what 2x minus 5 squared is if I was to expand on that. Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, I got a whole bunch of C's. We got Moto. Okay, I see you, Michael, with the C. All right, thank you so much for the chime in. Okay, crimes against myself, D. I love that. Real with D. Can't find Haley. How are you? With a C. Haven't seen you for a bit. KGB is another person. The C. Welcome on in. Andy with the D. Z. I see with the B. Real. I see with the D. User 16. It's D, guys. All right. Is it Ty Black? Ty Bleak with the C. Helping with pronunciation. Lisa, how are you? With the B. Chucky's girl. I love that. You're gonna guess D. All right. Cool. Do you have to foil? You can get C. We got Celine with the D. Torn between C and D. I know, it's like torn between two lovers. Who's going to be it? A Trey, it was an A. Marble with C. Zen Zen with C. I'm going to say Zen squared. Don't remember how to do these? Not a problem. I'm here to break it on down. So T, quad. Hello, how are you? Okay, with T. Okay. Okay, it's minus 20. Okay, inequalities are killing you, girl. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, soon enough we're going to have to get ourselves stitched. All right, so let's break this down. They're saying that my base, I don't know why there's a thing on top of my thing. All right, there we go. Finally. No, I feel like I'm putting everyone through trenches. So we have 2x minus 5 is being squared. So basically, they're saying this base of 2x minus 5, I'm multiplying it to itself twice. Okay? Once I have it set up like this, now I can do what's called foiling. So I'm going to take this first term, my 2x, and I'm going to distribute to everything in the second parenthesis. So I can have 2x times 2x, that gives me 4x squared. 2x times negative 5, that gives me negative 10x. Okay, do you see how I did that? I took this first term of 2x and I multiplied it to everything in that second parenthesis. So this basically what FOIL is, right? So now we're going to take this negative 5. And I'm going to take that negative 5 and I'm going to distribute this to the second parenthesis. So it's negative 5 times 2x. That gives me a negative 10x. Negative 5 times negative 5. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. And 5 times 5 is 25. Then here we are, right set in the middle. I think a lot of people are like, oh, where did the negative 10 come from? That's where it came from. But now we have a negative 10 minus 10. Or think of it, negative 10 and a negative 10. So when the signs are the same and you're combining, you are going to keep that sign and you're adding the numbers. Okay, so that's where that negative 20x came from. Good, Moto. Good job. Now we're bringing down the plus 25. And we're bringing down the 4x squared. So as you can see, this matches with C. Okay. Okay. I'm so glad you think math is easy. That's awesome. It's awesome. Okay. But I know for a little bit, it's okay, guys. He's going to go away soon. Because we know you're not Ashton. So I appreciate you. Hey, I see the hustle. Everyone's trying to hustle it. I see it. My thing is, I don't consider what I'm doing as a hustle. I'm trying to really break it on down. Okay? Yeah, it's not. See, some people it's easy, some people it's not. And I'm going to tell you, I grew up when the situation when math came around, I sucked at it. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions. Hell no, was not doing that. Word problems? What? Are you insane? And then all of a sudden algebra came around. Bruh, I don't know. It was definitely not my John. Not at all. So, and trust me. You do. Oh, yeah, please, John. Go share it. Share the TikTok. Share the TikTok. Share the YT. Share everything. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to help as many people as I can. I may not be physically here, but I want all this information to be here to make people feel empowered. Because, like I had to figure it out. My parents weren't strong in it. We didn't have this thing called tutoring. Maybe it existed, but the only time I saw a tutor was like 3 times for SAT prep. And all they did was as soon as I walked into the building, they sat me down, and that's where I sat for like an hour. No one came to me. No one broke any concepts down. And I wish I had someone that could do this math or to break down these concepts. And I know it was a different time, but dude, seriously, I really needed that. I really needed that. Okay. Did I just fall into it? I actually was thinking about leaving the classroom, but I wanted to stay in education, but I did not want to go to the district because I feel like that's where teachers go to die. Because the creativity is always like, this is what the state wants. This is what the state wants. This is what the state needs. And all of a sudden your creativity just goes out the window. So I did some research, and then I just found tutoring, and my first client was 6 years ago. And it was a friend that saw my Facebook Live, and I just say, hey guys, this is what I'm about to do. And bam. And I just kept working at it, kept working on it, improving on it, learning as I go. Yep, learning as I go. So here we go. Number 14. So we are going to take this formula. V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. And oh, almost forgot. Happy Pi Day, everybody. That's how out of it I'm. It just hit me all of a sudden. I looked, it was like 3:14. I'm like, yeah, wait, pi. Oh man, today's Pi Day. Totally forgot all about that. Well, happy Pi Day. All right. So, pay to tutor. Yes, I would. Because all my tutoring sessions are $87 an hour session. I do not do half an hours, and I'm worth every penny. So we have a volume of 1/3 pi r squared h. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the formula for the volume of a cone. If I take away this, and you just have your pi r squared h, that's the volume of a cylinder. So cylinder, cone, cylinder, cone. All right? But they want us to solve this for h. That means they want us to do some movement so we can get h by itself. So is it A, is it B, is it C, and is it D? Now, I know, again, my GED people, this is a 4-point question. It is going to be a little challenging, but I'm here to walk you through it. Yep, it is Pi Day, right? Oh, Janice. There she is. Okay, close to finals. All right, got you, Lisa. All right, so Andy's saying A. Sugar Plum saying B. Okay, Jick saying S. She's like, I don't know. Okay. Oh, you're saying A? Okay. I was like, I know S and A are close together. All right, so I got a bunch of A's. Okay, official Matt saying B. Okay. Yes, Simon. You're lost in the sauce, D. Don't worry, I got you. We will find the ladle together. So you won't be lost. Honestly, you don't know? Okay, not a problem. I got you. Boogie is saying A. Ty is saying B. Farland saying A. Okay, Simon A. All right, so let's take a look. First thing, if I can get rid of this fraction, that would be awesome. Because I have that 1/3 being multiplied by pi, being multiplied by r squared, and also being multiplied by h. So we got a lot of multiplication going on over here. So in order for me to get rid of that fraction, I want to do the inverse of multiplication, which, most people will say division. But division is happening here in this fraction. So if I basically take this side, and whatever I do on one side, I do on the other, and I multiply it by 3. What's going to happen? The 3's are going to cancel out. And bam, no more fraction. Woo! Yes. All right, so that means we'll have 3v is equal to pi r squared h. And you're probably saying to yourself, oh man, we got lots to do. But remember, the goal is getting h by itself. All of this is nothing but multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So why not divide both sides? Pi r squared. So pi r squared, pi r squared. So now what's left? We have 3v. Okay, the only things that have 3v was A and C. So B is gone, D is gone. But we had to divide pi r squared. So our answer is A. Because you get your 3v over your pi r squared is equal to h. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is a tougher one. So once you have that volume, get rid of that denominator. So we multiply both sides by the 3. That's where the 3v came from. And now the fraction is gone over here because 1 times anything is going to be itself, right? So now we have pi r squared h. That means pi times r squared times h. We're trying to get h by itself. So that means we need to get rid of pi r squared. So why not divide it? Since you're doing multiplication, do the inverse. Divide. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the other side. So then these will cancel out. My h is by itself, hurrah. And then we have our 3v over pi r squared. Okay. Come in foundation. Did this question come in foundation? What do you mean, did it come in foundation? You're cooked? Everyone's cooked. All right. So let's take a little gander. Someone earlier asked me, about factoring. Okay, so here's one thing that we can do with factoring. So we need to factor by grouping. Okay, we need to factor by grouping. So it's like a combination of Algebra 1 and some Algebra 2. Okay, but mostly this is really for and also if you're taking college algebra, it's shown in that as well. You can tell now I'm slurring my words. All right, no, we do not have to do synthetic division. Okay, so if I were to rewrite it, let me rewrite it and then I'm going to give you a moment on it. So you have 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 3x minus 15. Okay, and we're going to solve this by factoring by grouping. Okay. Keep the alphabet out. Well, that's going to be hard to do, D. It's kind of hard to do. Okay. So Sugar Plum, you thinking it's A. Boogie, you think it's A. Okay. All right. So let's see with the A. Candy. Candy's thinking it's D. Oh, I'm not sure if I've said it on live. Candy actually passed her test. She's passing that GED. Love it. Okay. You want to follow me for math lessons? Go ahead, David. You can follow me for math lessons. You can send me a message. Okay. All my one-to-one sessions are 87. Just want to let you know. So, all right. Yes. Give Candy. No, A. Okay. Give Candy some love and appreciation. Follow me as well. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So we got Bun with A, H with A. Lisa saying A. Now I'm starting to get a glare. We got a B. Okay. Farm substitute. Okay. That'll equal 0. Yes. Good. Not A. Guessing C. So Tanya squared. How are you? Welcome back, Tanya. Love that. Okay, Tyler. Ooh, I love that T, Tyler. Awesome. I like the B. Andy saying C. Okay, a little congratulatory. A, your final answer. You're clocking in. Candy, you're clocking in. Is that Jalen? Hold on. Jelena. Okay, saying C. Let's take a look. Now, we want to, when you do grouping, trust me, knowing your multiplication is definitely crucial. So we're going to take it one parenthesis at a time. So I'm going to cover up the other two terms so we can focus solely on this one. So 2 and 10, what do they have in common? Okay, put it in the chat. What does 2 and 10? Congratulations on you passing your test. She's like, why is it about congratulating me? Because you passed your test. Not sure if I announced that. Yes, good. 2s. Guys are cracking me up. All right. Now, there's x cubed here and there's x squared here. So we want to know how many x's do they have in common. Now, if you're not sure, x cubed means x times x times x. X squared means x times x. So we want to know how many groups of x's do they have in common. They have 2 of them. Now, the long and short of it is if they both have the same base of x, go for the lowest exponent. Okay, just shoot straight to the lowest exponent. So that will give you your x squared. Now, in order to put into its parenthesis, we're going to take this original and divide it by our GCF. So 2 divided by 2 will give me 1. X cubed, take away x squared. So if I have 3 x's and I took away 2 x's, that means I have 1 x left. Minus 10 divided by 2, that gives me 5. If I have 2 x's up here and I took away 2, that means I don't have any x's left. So I'm not putting an x to the 0 power here. No, don't worry about that. Okay? So you factor out your GCF, and then you use that GCF to divide the original expression to get what's supposed to be inside the parenthesis. All right? So if I do the same thing for the other parenthesis, I'm going to cover up for a sec. So 3 and 15, what do they have in common? There you go, Boogie, in my brain. Yes, Candy, good, good. Ty, yes, lovely, yes. H, yes. J, yes, got it. So since it's a plus 3, I'm going to put plus 3. Now, this has an x, but this one doesn't. So they don't have any x's in common. So if I divide my original by this 3. 3x divided by 3 will give me x. And negative 15 divided by 3 will give me a negative 5. What do we notice? Yes, sophisticated lady. Yes, Abdul. Yes, Candy. Good. Sugar plum. Yes. H. Yes. Okay. Life. Okay, both sides have that x minus 5. Good, John. All right. Common factors. Good, Boogie. There we go. All right. So what we have inside the parentheses, here's the secret. When you're doing grouping, factoring by grouping, your parentheses should always be exactly the same. So that's going to be your GCF for the next line. So you can say, all right, there's one with an x minus 5. Okay, nothing else has an x minus 5, so it should be A. Well, let's see. Because what's left in the other parenthesis is what's outside the parentheses. So you're going to gather up your GCFs from each of the factors. So that's where the 2x squared plus 3 comes from. And that is what A is stating. Okay, anytime you see these little carets, that means those are your exponents. So 2x raised to the second power plus 3, and then x minus 5. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I only have my set ones. And we're getting close to my last one. Yep, it's my last one, y'all. Okay, so for the last one for today, I know, just give you a little taste, a little sample. All right, so this time we need to solve for x. So I want to see if you can battle it out a little bit. So we have 2 over x plus 3 equals 1/4. Is the answer A, which is 11, B, 1, C, 5, or D, 8? Look at all these brainiacs. I love it. Okay, so got some C's, got some C's, got some C's, got some C's. All right, we got Simon with a D, Ty with a C. Simon switched it to a C. Okay, we got Justin with C. We got TH with C and THC. You're gonna go with C? Okay, Jim is C. T-Biz is C. Cross multiple solve for X. Yes, you can do that. Okay. Is that Mana saying C? Lisa C. Oops C. Okay. Lisette with a C and can't speak. Yeah, it's time for me to go. I've been doing this way too long today. I've been tutoring since 10 o'clock and then I got up and I'm only working on 3 hours of sleep. There we go. All right, so everyone is saying C. Yay. Okay. Now, we can do this one of two ways. If we are solving, okay, if you're currently a student in the classroom, you're going to do what's called cross multiply. When you are having one ratio, which is also a fraction, equal to another ratio, which is a fraction, and you are going to cross multiply. So we know 1 times anything is itself. So that's why I got my x plus 3 equals 2 times 4, which gives me 8. So if I subtract 3 on both sides, because I want to solve for x, I have 8 minus 3, which gives me 5. Okay, that's one way of doing it. If you're doing a standardized test, GED, any of those standardized tests, ACT, sometimes SAT, you can take some of these answers to see which one will make sense. All right, so if I plug 11 in here, that's going to be crazy. It's going to give me another odd number. No. Okay, if I plug a 1 in here, I got 4, but 2/4 is not the same as 1/4 because 2/4 reduced is 1/2, not 1/4. So if I plug the 5 in for the x, I get 8 because 5 plus 3 is 8. So 2 8s can be reduced to 1/4. So then this could be your answer. Okay? So there is more than one way. And I hate to say it, I had teachers that said, this is the only way that you can do it. And it never clicked with me because he or she, there was a couple, at the time when I was going to school, most of my math teachers were male. And they would say, you have to do it this way. And it wasn't until later on when I started to feel like, I think I might want to be a math teacher. Don't ask me why. That was God speaking. That was not me. And it was just a matter of like, wait, there's more than one way that you can do this. But a lot of people always say, do it this way because that's a way that teacher felt comfortable with. So when you guys see a lot of nuances and see a lot of things, and I don't know if Insol's still here. He was one of my former students back in the day that I would always give the kids options. I will always give the kids options. So they can always come up and show what they know. And if it worked every time, I even named it after them, even though I knew it was going to work every time. But I say, hey, you can either do it my way, which is this way, or you could do it Dante's way, or you can do it Sheila's way, or you can do it Amber's way. Always give kids options. Okay. You're going to enroll for GED this year in the summer? Perfect. Okay. Trust me. If you do need assistance and you're just like, Audrey, I love you, but $87, I cannot swing. That's why I created Algebra at Your Pace. Okay. You go at your pace. So if you want to do math at 2:00 in the morning, have fun. Right? So I have all of the areas that is usually, let's see if I can, oh, wait, hold on. TikTok's about to do something to me. Oh, no, not really. So I'm just going to hold something to me. Oh, no, not really. So I'm just going to hold it like this. Okay, so we have volume 1, which is the integers, decimals, exponents. So it takes you all the way back to the very beginning. Okay, so if you know, like, hey, it's been a minute since I've been in school, this is where you need to go. Then it progresses to, you're doing your functions, you're doing fractions, you're looking at order of operations, you're looking at more of factors. Then you have solving equations, 1-step, 2-step, multi-step equations. We did a couple of those today. Then you have your linear equations. That's what the slope is. If you are still having problems with slope and you want to pass your GED and you only missed it by like say 3, maybe 6, or maybe even 12 points, it's because you missed out or skipped on those slope questions. You're like, I don't even know how to graph. I don't know how to do that. This will be definitely the book for you. Then we have a combination of 5 and 6 dealing with integers, system of equations, absolute values. Now, within all these books, I'll show you what exactly is happening. Then we have factoring. If you are like, yeah, me and factoring, not it, this is definitely the volume for you. And I'll show you what it looks like inside. So it's not just a whole bunch of workbooks and a whole bunch of like problems for you to do, and then you look at the answer key and you have no idea what the answer key is talking about, right? So now you have your rational functions, okay? Looking at more of how to break down those fraction types. Let me see if I can find that page because we actually did one today. Sorry. Now everybody wants to try to call me. Crazy. Someone's knocking on my door. So looking at this problem here that we did. Well, maybe we didn't do, but I did with another person. So a lot of those questions are on here. Then we have rational functions, breaking down those radicals. Also Pythagorean theorem, looking at geometry. Then we do a little bit more with the geometric sequence. We're looking at area. We're looking at volume. Okay, all of that. Then over here, the last one, which is going to be an ebook only. Okay, didn't have enough pages and I didn't want to fill it with any fluff. I just want to get right to the nitty of the gritty so you can basically take all this information depending on how fast you go. If you want to do basically like maybe a volume a week, all right, you can get done in basically 10 weeks? That's up to you, okay? So then you have your graphs, your tables, circle graphs, line graphs, mean, median, and mode, and also probability, okay? So that last book is going to be a digital ebook. But all these books, you can definitely go to the link in my bio, because a lot of them, if you want the physical book, it will take you to the A. All right. So, do I go live every day? I wish I can say that. Oh, wait. I don't know what happened. All right. People are just going. I don't know what happened. All right. People are just going. Strength. What is that? Strength in that? Yes, this will be perfect for them. Like, I really was looking at people that are basically going through or going back to school. That was the inspiration. Like most of you guys that are in here and always complaining that this class is going so fast, or I had to miss GED classes because I got sick, or my kids got sick, so I couldn't go to class and I missed a whole lot. And that's what really sparked the reason for me to do these books, because life just be lifing. And sometimes it's lifing in our direction or it's lifing in someone else's direction. So let's say, for example, with this lovely book, in the very beginning, sneak peeks, I have a QR code. If you scan the QR code, if you already made your purchase and everything, you will get your video access to all of these. I figured let me streamline it instead of like putting a QR code on every single one. And you will basically get me breaking down these concepts. So if you want to go fast, you can go fast. If you want to go slow, you can go slow. Hence the name, Algebra at Your Pace. So we can either have the coordinate planes, we have relations and functions, we have factors and the divisibility test. Whew, man. Greatest common factor, least common multiples, scientific notation. A lot of people generally screw up on these. These are mostly like 4-point questions. 3-point questions, just so you know. And ratios and proportions. So you will get notes. After you get notes, you'll have some practice. And then you get extra practice problems, okay? So then you can also look at the answer keys for that. As long as you do all the work, at the end, you'll actually get a quiz, okay? You get an end of the chapter quiz, and it will try to keep you on track. So every time I do something, I try to give an end of chapter quiz. Then on top of it, some references that you can use to help you break all this stuff down. Because sometimes you can't remember all this stuff, but then you're going to have to learn to pick and pull some things out. So like order of operations, the properties of exponents, all of that's listed. And then some of the books I have given a little bit of matching cards. So if we take a look, this is going to be like one card. You try to solve it, and then later on, I will give you some answers, and you just have to do some matching. And you're like, well, what happens if we don't know what the answer is? Well, that's why I give you an answer key. Okay, but you get to practice so you can get more of the exposure. This is great for like homeschools. This is great for like people that are just trying to refresh themselves on how to do X, Y, and Z. So this one is dealing with just order of operations, but I add that to the back of your book. So you can either just rip it out, you can make copies of it, you can do whatever you want with it, as long as you are using it to learn from. And then, of course, I have my personal information back here if you ever need any tutoring, and maybe just a swift kick in the butt to say that, yeah, you can definitely get this done. All right? So with all of that, all the books, but one of the things that is my latest is trying to get more of the ebooks because it'll be easy accessible for you guys, as well as getting some to answer this question. So be on the lookout. I'm probably going to be making a lovely announcement either later on this evening or early tomorrow morning. So what happens is I'm doing the 25 question quiz. And the quiz, I give you breakdowns. So like if you only score 1 to 15, then I will say, hey, you're going to need volume 1 of this to get yourself started with any career, any kind of math concepts. But if you score it at a certain range and maybe you just need extra practice, that's what I've been working on. I've been working on putting together ebooks that is math examinations. So that means I want you to sit your butt down, take the kids to go somewhere, have your significant other, do whatever. And you sit down, block off a certain amount of time, and you're sitting, you do the test. After the test is done, then you look at the answer key. And if you need more assistance, there is going to be opportunities for getting you more assistance. Or if you scored like 25 out of 25, well, then go after that job. What are you doing? Like, why are you like holding yourself back? Oh, because I don't have a degree in engineering. You don't need a degree in engineering. And I found 12 careers that are very good in pricing. Very good when it comes to it. And you can actually make a life out of it. And you can do what you need to do. I know a lot of people that are good at math and they don't have the degree, but they're actually doing jobs and they're making a hell of a lot more money than I am. So you would think, Audrey, why don't you do that? Because then I wouldn't be able to be here to talk to y'all. All right. So that is basically what is going on. So if anything, I know I'm going to be on tomorrow. And it's probably going to be relatively in the morning or it's going to be later because I am slammed from 12 to roughly 8:30. Yeah, spring break is coming for some people. So it's just been like everyone's trying to get a test in before they go away for spring break. So that's my life. All right. So if you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact me. And if anything, usually you guys can go here for my lives. Let's see if I can unzoom a little bit. Okay, so if you need, TikTok's driving me crazy. All right, so if any of the replays, this is where you can go to get some of the replays. Go ahead and subscribe. I am trying to get to my 1,500. I don't know why it's taking me so long, but my views are going up. So I know people are watching, which is awesome. There are also some opportunities if you go tutoring. Again, it's 87. Make sure you contact me. You can just send me a message. If you want to order some of the books and you're just not quite sure where to go, just message me before you make any kind of purchases. And if you do message me, don't just say hi because I'm going to delete it. Like, give me a reason what we're doing. What are we chit-chatting about? All right. So I think that is all. But here are some people that you guys can follow. If you need to, Impact Math from Miss Taylor, a blessed RN. If you're thinking about doing nursing and you need help with dosage calculations, Professor TK for chemistry. If you need help on AP Chem, I know that test is coming up soon. Learning with Lynette. If you're learning how to use the abacus, and if you don't know what an abacus is, you need to go see Learning with Lynette. I mean, she is making transformations here. All right. And then also Mr. M, he does everything from like 7th grade or 7-year-olds all the way up to 12th graders. So, but he's been doing a lot of stuff with like calculus tutoring as well. All right. Okay. Hey, Lynette. Just stop by to say hi. Hello, Jason. AKA Jason. How are you? It's been a minute. Yeah. Chit chat when everyone chit chat. All right, everyone. My brain is done. If you need any questions or if you have any questions, see, I told you, brain is done. please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd rather give you information that is going to be needed instead of just wasting your time. I don't want to do that. Okay? But thanks. Aw, thanks. But thanks. Aw, thanks, man. Okay, so I guess they're booting me out. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.